Alright, what's up, Wolfpack? Got another video. I'm gonna get this warm-up set out of the way because I low-key need to go quickly. I'm barely done with started the workout and I only got an hour left. So, I'm gonna rip this out. It's probably gonna be a little quicker video today and we'll go from there. We got 22 and a half pounds on the cable. Go for how many I feel like and then we'll go to the first failure set. Alright. Okay, that should be good. Move it up. Alright, we'll go 57 and a half pounds for the fish failure set. I'll be real. I don't really keep track at this point of what I did last time. You know, maybe am supposed to do 62, but you know, as per usual, when I don't have the weights, you can complain all you want. At the end of the day, this is my video and my little experiment, so I'm gonna do what I want to do. So, I just want to preface this before I get into the video, or well, I've already am a little bit in the video, but preface it before I get into like the big topics of today. Today will probably not be as negative as yesterday. I think yesterday was really one of the worst days I've ever had. And, you know, I think that my brain was also kind of pointing towards more negative stuff than positive stuff that day. I think I was kind of getting a little petty with a lot of the things, but I'm in a much better mood right now. So, shouldn't be as negative. But one thing I've kind of figured since I've since I've gotten here, I've really been through like an up and down almost. Like I guess in terms of my mentality, like prior to college, prior to college, like I would say 11th grade to end of senior year, I was pretty much in a linear path of just getting happier. Like I think how my college, or not my high school, mentality was ninth grade was really negative, 10th grade was really positive, then 11th grade was in the middle, 12th grade ended about same as where 10th grade peaked. So it was a relatively linear path from 11th to 12th grade. I think it was because I was so busy that I really didn't have the time to think as thoroughly as I do now. You know, as someone who's been, I would say, relatively isolated, and really hasn't done much outside of campus. Actually, I've done one thing outside of campus by myself. And that was because I accidentally left campus. But as someone who's kind of isolated themselves, I feel like I've had a lot of time to reflect, to the point where I almost like overthink the reflection. As in, like, I get to a point where I'll start positive, but I think about it so much it turns negative. And I really think, you know, the more you think about things, the more negative of an outlook you have, because the more you think about it, the more complex your thought is. So, for example, I'll go with the stuff I was talking about yesterday. Obviously, I was talking about my water situation quite a lot, how I ran out of bottled water, and I had to resort to the tap water in my dorm, which a little scary. It really doesn't taste great. but it's okay. But you know, I really think I overthought like what to do when I ran out of water. I think I kind of had a plan set in stone to the point where if the plan messed up, I I didn't want to do it anymore. Which I think really, you know, negatively it kind of ended me off with a negative mindset that day. And I think the biggest realization I'm trying to get at right now is that your you know, mental health really isn't like a linear path. You're not going to get progressively happier the more you work on your mental health. I feel like I really gave a bad example there. I think I didn't give the best for what I'm really trying to get at here. But like, I think as people we expect a linear path onto like anything we do normally, you know. And I would, especially for students, like people who are around my age, I think because most of our life has been a linear progression through like school-wise, which has been pretty much, I've been in school for 75-80% of my life at this point. So I think we're, you know, as kids, as like, as teenagers, we're so used to this linear progression in life through school that we think that a progression outside of linear is bad. And I think I really hit that yesterday. You know, now I'm gonna say this, I have had ups and downs, but I think we expect a linear path, and when that linear path isn't happening, we like kind of lose a sense of trajectory, and we kind of, I guess, we go off track from where we want to be. Hopefully I explained that well. I don't know how great I did, but I do want to get this first set done because, like I said, I am on a tight schedule right now. So I'm going to do this first failure set. I might go more into that. Depends on if I feel like I did well enough there. But as of right now, like I said, 57.5 pounds on the cable. If we do 10 reps, we'll go up in weight. If not, we'll stick with this for the last set, and we'll go from there. All right. That wasn't good. I'm going to keep the weight the same. I don't think I did 10 there. Whew. As you guys heard there, I only got an hour left. So I am trying to make this a little quick. I'm less than halfway through the workout right now. I'll be real. I lost track of time at one point. I was talking to a friend of mine, and I wasn't paying attention to the time. Also, I don't know how many people watch these, because I'll be real, my views are pretty low as of recently. But if you guys are wondering where like the regular intro where I'm in my dorm, kind of just going over the day, I guess. Or not really going over the day, just really just the intro in general. Ever since I've kind of switched to going to these really late lifts, Usually my roommate's home. And you guys, I've talked about it more than enough at this point. You guys should know by now that he's definitely camera shy. And I'm not really trying to, I'm not trying to have him be super uncomfortable in my dorm. Or, well, in our dorm. I shouldn't say mine. Because at the end of the day, we're both paying for it. You should at least have some sense of comfort. Me and him may not, I can't say him, but I might not be the biggest fan of him. But, I still have to respect, that he's also here for the same reason I'm here, and that's to get a degree. And this is really just like a pathway for us. I'm going to be super happy when I'm out of there, by the way. I want to make that super clear. Absolutely hate my dorm. I think it's an awful experience. I wish I didn't have to choose. I wish I picked a different dorm. I picked the dorm because it had a funny name. Really bad idea. I'm pretty sure this is the worst dorm on campus. So, that's on me. But I did my research this time instead of last time. So I'm hoping, as long as, my wait lists actually go well, hopefully I have a good place. But like I said, intros, probably until this Friday will be here, because Friday I'm going to do my home gym video because I'll be back home by then. Which, that reminds me, yesterday I was talking about how this is probably my busiest week because I have three tests and 2 papers. Got more news. I actually have a 4th test on Friday. I had no clue about it until I was going through all my classes just to make sure I'm on top of things. And I take a look, and it turns out I have a philosophy test. So, not great. I was really planning on skipping that class on Friday so that I can get ready for spring break. But it's fine. I'm not really worried about the amount of time I'll be losing, considering it's only an hour-long class. But one thing I am gonna promise now, for next year, I'm really gonna try and hold myself accountable on this. So I really want to obviously continue doing this content, but I want to make it a little higher quality in terms of the topics I discuss, the quality of like my speech. I feel like a lot of times the stuff I'm talking about is like kind of broken fragments of a big topic and it doesn't really help. I don't think it helps teach you guys the idea that I'm trying to teach. I think it's so broken apart that I almost sound confusing, and I'm not a big fan of that. I'd rather be kind of clear and concise. So, I also want you guys to hold me accountable to this, I guess, considering I am telling you guys. But I need to be held accountable to, produce this higher quality content. Hopefully, it's at least somewhat enjoyable compared to right now. I think right now, these videos tend to get boring after 20 minutes. I feel like I could look at my viewer retention. Most people leave after 2 minutes. So it's not, maybe 20 minutes is a little much. But I really do want to prioritize the content a little bit. But with that being said, I also am going to need to work a job because I'm broke. All right, I'm going to finish off this last set here. Still 57.5 pounds on the cable. I didn't do 10 last time, so I don't expect to do 10 this time. But if I do 10, we'll go up in weight next time. I promise. And we'll go from there. All right. Okay, we're ending it off there. So I'm pretty sure I did 11 there. So we will be going up in weight next time. Anyways, I'll turn back on the camera when I got another exercise ready. I'll probably only do 2 today, like yesterday. But I'll see you guys then. All right, what's up, Wolfpack? We got the last recorded set of the night. I am on a time crunch. I think I got about half an hour left. So I'm gonna rip out this warm-up set. Doing a little unconventional today. Got chest press instead of the regular pec deck or bench press. But we'll try this out. Sorry for not keeping it consistent. But I am trying to get this done quick. So, too bad. Anyways, 55 pounds on the machine. Go for how many I feel like, and then we'll adjust accordingly, I guess, because I don't know how much I could do. All right. I might move these. Nah, we'll keep them here. Okay. I'm gonna do 130 for now. See where that goes. And I am actually gonna move these to there, so it's a little bit more aligned with my chest. Hopefully that makes it not super hard back here. I mean, let's see. I mean, I guess that's aligned with my chest. So you know what? Maybe let me keep it there for now. If I physically can move it, I'm gonna change it. You know, I really used to think that my chest was like my most developed part of my body. But the more and more I'm like, I pose in the mirror, mainly on camera for you guys, you've only seen it. But like, I really think my chest is actually one of the more lacking parts of my body now. Like, it'd probably go quads, or actually calves, quads, chest, then like my bicep, and then probably my tricep, and then my hamstrings and my back. I feel like my back is by far my most developed, especially now where I've kind of focused a lot more on unilateral, kind of locked in on, you know, taking each individual lat to failure. I really think my back's kind of blown up recently in terms of growth. So I really, once I'm done with this little experiment I'm running, I'm really gonna try and hunker down. I mean, if you saw the video yesterday, you guys saw the workout plan that I have prepared. Once I switch, that's not finalized. I was looking back at it as I was putting into that video, and I feel like I was kind of doing a lot of junk volume for some exercises. Like, one thing I could say is for my chest. I think instead of either doing incline bench, and maybe I do a pec fly instead, or honestly, I was considering getting rid of bench and putting in this chest press, because I really feel like two bench movements isn't going to be the best for me, considering I don't take them super close to failure to begin with. Compared to something like a pec deck or a chest press, where I'm a lot more willing to go to failure, considering I can't. It's a lot less likely I die if I go to failure, which I don't think I'm going to die anyways from failing a bench press. I feel like I'm pretty confident on being able to get it off me. But there's a much higher chance of me dying than on a machine. So, for my safety, I feel like that's the only reason I don't really take them a failure. But, if you have any critiques, if you know a thing or two about fitness, maybe you think some optimal lists for me, let me know, because I feel like I need to switch some of them for junk volume purposes. There's got to be like some kind of residue on this machine press. There's like black stuff on my fingers now. A little weird. I'm gonna have to wash those off at some point. I'm not sure if you guys heard as I was going on that little rant about my split, but yeah, I have less than half an hour. Finish this workout. I'm a little over halfway now, so I'm a little worried I'm not gonna be able to get everything done. So I'm gonna try and get what I can. As of right now, I have one more forearm, one more tricep, one more bicep, and both my legs. And then I would be done. So I don't think I'm going to do all that especially in 30 minutes. I would normally do it, but that's on me for losing track of time. So I might just rip out probably a leg and my bicep, or depending on time, maybe just a leg. At the end of the day, I feel like I'd much rather work on my legs than my bicep, considering I feel like my legs are at least somewhat underdeveloped. All right, I'm gonna go for the first failure set. 130 on the machine. If we get more than 10, we'll go up in weight. If not, we'll stick with this for the last set, and then we'll go from there. All right. No. Didn't really control the negative right there. I think that kind of fucked me up for that last rep. But I did not do 10. So we will not be going up in weights. Honestly, I'm pretty shocked I got that kind of... I got that good. I didn't think that... I was a little kind of questioning it if you didn't figure it out. Because, I was trying to move that to make it a little easier. But I really think that's like the perfect weight for me. As failure-wise, I should say. I'm gonna be real, I'm not super, or I don't really have too much to talk about today. I feel like I've been really just in my own head, really trying to lock in on my schoolwork, as of, especially today, because biology, which is the test I had today, I think is probably the hardest class I have. So I was doing a lot of studying, which I'm not a big studier. I've really only studied a total of 3 times this entire freshman year, which probably isn't the best thing in the world in terms of my grades. But I find studying very tedious and not really helpful for me. But I can't deny that it has helped other people. So I'm kind of hoping that it's more like me not knowing how to study than, me just not working well with studying. But in terms of the test, I think I did pretty well. I don't think I'm getting 100 on it, but I would say I'd be happy with like an 85 or higher. I felt pretty confident for most of it. The only use of AI that I used on that test, that actually sounds like I was cheating. I was not cheating. The only time I used AI for the test was to create a study guide. I wanna make sure you guys understand I'm not a cheater here. At the end of the day, I'm trying to learn the content, and let's say I do want to go through with the PhD stuff that I'm considering. It's still not 100% sure, but if I do want to go for a PhD, I kind of gotta lock in on my knowledge, kind of understand what I'm actually doing. I'm really 50-50 on this PhD stuff right now, because I think it'd be really cool to say I got a PhD in exercise science, which is where I would get a PhD in. I'd much rather do exercise science and marketing in terms of a PhD, because I definitely find exercise science a lot more enjoyable than any of the business stuff I'm doing right now. I feel like, I spend a lot of my time, if I'm not really reflecting or not watching kind of self-help videos, I'm watching a lot of exercise science stuff. I'm reading studies, which I never thought I would read studies, but I'm reading hypertrophy studies. Hopefully, well, it's been in hopes to better my workout programming and all that. Haven't really found much to help that isn't already kind of implemented into my training. But with everything, I think that's going to take some practice, me being able to interpret the studies and then kind of implement them into my lifting. But I don't know. I feel like it'd be a really cool feeling to know that I am a top level candidate, or I have top level credibility as someone in exercise science. So I'm considering it, but I think I really do need to lock in on my grades if I want to get that PhD, because I'm pretty sure I got to apply to another program at some point, which I'm pretty sure they also look at my grades for my undergrad, which is what I'm doing right now. Anyways, I am gonna finish this last set out. Still 130 on the machine. I didn't do 10 last time, but if I do 10, actually I'm not gonna say that because I don't know how often I'm gonna do this chest press. But if I ever do this chest press again and I do 10 here, I will go up in weight next time, and I'll make sure of it. Anyways, let's go for this. Yeah. All right. Okay, right off there. I messed up my grip halfway through. That's why I kind of slammed it back. I didn't injure myself, luckily. But I knew I had a little bit more in me. But Pretty sure I didn't do 10 there as like last time. So yeah, this is the end of the video. If you liked it, please like and subscribe, and share the video if you want to help me out. Do want this to be kind of a full-time thing, but you do you. If you want to follow me on other stuff, there'll be a link tree in the description for all my other links. Do your laundry. No, see you guys tomorrow.